What's up, guys? It's Epic here, and I'm bringing you a brand new video. And today's topic is, what is Nintendo doing with their online SNES app that you get when you sign up with Nintendo Online? I go on there, and I love playing some of the NES games. I play a lot of them with my dad. He grew up playing some of them, like Punch-Out or Pro Wrestling. He loves playing Tech Mobile on there, and you can play Mario 1 through 3, there's Dr. Mario, NES Open, and a bunch of other games that Nintendo is iconic for from the NES era. And it's really fun. I mean, obviously there are a couple ones that I had never heard of and probably aren't that good, but there are quite a few games on there that are pretty fantastic and are enjoyable to play even now. Even if I haven't really played most of them, but the option to have all of those there just for signing up with online is really good. And I think that that is something that Nintendo should continue to do, and they should continue to add some of their more popular games from the NES era. Now, they've started adding ones that aren't as popular, and I'm assuming they're just doing because they had license to it or got an agreement with it, and it was fairly cheap just to put them on there. So I don't blame them on that. They're giving us more content. It's virtually free. Most of us are going to pay for NES Online anyway, but they're giving us something to at least do a little bit. So that's always nice. However, they recently added, well, not recently, but they've added the SNES app, which is very similar to the NES app, within the last year. And there are a couple games on there that's famous on the SNES, but there are some that are just absolute stinkers. I mean, when you think SNES, you have games like Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Island's on there. You have the first two Star Fox games. You have F-Zero. You have games like that. And I'm like, well, yeah, those are great games for the SNES. Those were pretty iconic. Those are very fun games. But then you look around the rest of the app, and what you find are some games that I had never heard of, never seen before, and I'm assuming even people who grew up in that era probably didn't own and probably didn't play. For example, the first game in the bottom left corner, when I opened mine, is a game that is completely in Japanese, I had never seen before. I don't know what it is, and it appears to be some sort of Tetris ripoff, and you'll be seeing some gameplay of that here. It's weird. I don't know why it's there. I'm assuming they just had a license for it. It was never brought over to America or Europe. And they're just like, hey, might as well put this in here. We have the license for it. You know, whatever. The problem is, I'm in North America, and I don't speak Japanese. This game is entirely in Japanese. I don't know what's going on. I played it, and I figured out what you were doing. It's essentially kind of like Dr. Mario or Tetris or something like that. But you're throwing like Dragon Quest slimes for some reason, and they're different colored, and you have to match up the colors with 4 of them, but you don't have to get them in a line, and it's pretty confusing. You're facing off against a CPU, and it's just, I don't understand what's going on. You can put these like clear ones on to their board, and then they can't really match anything. It's super weird, and I don't understand it at all. So why are they putting this on here when this is most definitely not one of the Japanese exclusive games that most people would want on the system? If you're going to put a Japanese exclusive game on the system for North American audiences, why not put one of the original Fire Emblem games? People haven't been able to play those legally, and I'm sure that they would love to be able to experience the games that Martha's from, or some of the earlier ones that were only on SNES, like Thracia 776 and games like that. Unfortunately, we're stuck with this matching slime game, and I'm just confused why. When I opened up the app so I can record this video, it said there's a new game at the top of for the SNES. I'm like, okay, cool. I had never heard of the game before. It was only just that one new game. It's not like there were multiple. It was just that one new one. And I hadn't been on the SNES app for a solid month because I played A Link to the Past on it, and I haven't really touched it since. So, what is Nintendo really doing with this app? What are their plans for it? If they're just going to continue to drip feed us games that they already have a license to or can get cheaply or for free, that's disappointing, to say the least. There are so many retro games that came out before I was born that I can't ever really get the chance to play again because I'd have to buy an SNES, I would have to get the game itself. Some of them are Japanese exclusive, like the Fire Emblem games, and it's just like this big thing that I can't really do. Well, Nintendo has this thing. It's like, oh, you're gonna pay $3 a month, we'll give you this, but it's dog shit. So I think they need to make up their minds about what they want this to be, if it's gonna be an actual thing to make people happy, and it's like, oh, look at all these games that you can play that you might not have ever played before, but you've heard so much about and are very popular back in the day. Or they're just going to give you, a bunch of random games that I had never seen before. So, Nintendo, make up your mind about what you want to do with this. Don't, and I know this is going to sound very complainy, very bitchy, but please don't give us this shit that you have right now, because, yeah, you got some good games on there, but you got a lot of crap, too.